My name is Nur Edrina and I will start our group presentation with introduction. What is numerical method? Numerical method is mathematical approach for resolving difficulties that may not require analytic solutions, which concerning approximation and iteration, complex problem solving, computational tools, conduct simulation and analysis of error, and often been applied in field of civil engineering. In hydraulics code, actual problem can be related to water distribution, water flow, and mostly the application of fluid mechanics principles, which taken up to solve by bisection method of numerical method for our chosen project. Bisection method implement iteration by reducing the interval or range to determine the route until acceptable solutions are found. Next is project problem statement, which about water treatment. The project produces a spherical storage tank containing water with a diameter of 8 feet. As a civil engineer, you are asked to calculate the height to which a dipstick 10 feet long will be wet with water when immersed in the tank when it contains 6 feet cube of water. Use the bisection method of finding roots of equations to find the height the dipstick is wet with water. The equation of height is Fh equal to h cubic minus 10h square plus 3.8196. We are also attached the diagram of spherical water tank. Moving forward, this is the objective of our project. First, to determine the continuous functions root within the given interval. Second, to find the height of water in storage tank. Third, to identify the hydraulic problem of interval can be solved by bisection method. Last objective, to find out the relationship of numerical methods in solving daily real life situations, especially in civil engineering.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Hafiz bin Ibrahim. Talking about the literature review. The bisection method was used to analyze and solve the problem. It can be used to find the root of a real value function. The interval can be divided in half with a sub-interval changing function sign being chosen until the interval is small enough. The bisection method generate a solution linearly but slower than the Newton's method, and based on the problem, the length of the dipstick wet with oil would be established and could be iterated.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Fazil Fikri bin Muhammad Idris and I present about the fila table. The fact of the fila for this project is determine the continuous fraction or roots within the given interval A and B, find the height of water in the storage tank, identify the hydraulic problem of interval can be solved by bisection method, and find out the relationship numerical in daily real life situation in civil engineering. The idea is we use bisection method, which is find x between the interval given a and b, list all the information that given in the problem statement. Learning issue is what is the formula used and how to use the formula in the bisection method. Uh, the action we take is surfing the internet for more information, read books or slide from the lecture for more information, and refer to anyone that is expert in this subject. That's all for me. Thank you.
So first of all, for result and analysis from the project, the dipstick must be weighted between the initial height, which is 0, and the maximum height of the circular tank, which is 8 feet. So for the limit, we determine that the initial value of the height is 0 and the maximum value is 2 times with the radius of circular tank, which is 2 times 4 is equal to 8. So our limit is between 0 to 8 feet. So for the first calculation, we need to substitute the limit value to the equation, and both of the answer we need to multiply to get the IVT value, and we determine that for the first limit that we multiply to the second limit, we get the answer is lower than 0. So we can proceed with the calculation of iteration, and that's all for the first result and analysis. So So for iteration one calculation, first of all, we need to determine the midpoint for the limit, which is c equal to h initial plus h1 divided by 2, and we get 4 feet for our midpoint of first iteration. And based on this answer, we get FA times FC is also less than 0, which is there is one root in this equation. So we need to proceed to the other iteration calculation until we get the value is less than epsilon number, which is 0.005. So all of this calculation must fulfill the stopping criteria, the three stopping criteria, which is shown in this slide. So lastly, for the result and analysis, the number of total iteration that we do for this project is 13 iteration, and the last value we get is 0.004, which is less than the epsilon number of 0.005. So since the FC13 is fulfill the characteristic of the stopping criteria, so we take the roots for equation h cubed minus 10 h squared plus 3.8179 is approximately is 0.639 for the roots. So that's all for result and calculation. Thank you.
In conclusion, the problem can be solved using the bisection method. The root of the real value function can be found. Height of the dipstick worked with oil can be found along with relative approximate error after each iteration. And the bisection method can be used for daily application.